Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. So in case you haven't been following, I've been putting together my dream music / YouTube content creation studio sponsored by Sweetwater. And it's awesome working with them because they're my go-to retailer for anything music gear related. They stock all the latest guitars, guitar gear, amps, strings, picks, pro audio, anything you need as a musician. Sweetwater's customer service is also unrelentingly helpful, probably because they're gearheads themselves. Shout out to my guy George, who makes sure that I'm always doing great on the gear front. My favorite thing is the 55-point inspection guitars go through before they ship out to customers that covers everything from an intonation check to an instrument polish to make sure the guitar plays and looks great on arrival. Plus, every order comes with candy, so if you're buying anything gear related online, they're an easy recommendation. Back to the YouTube studio build. Spoiler, it turned out awesome. It's where I'm filming from now, but I kind of don't want to spoil the surprise until the finale. Last we left our protagonist, there'd been some significant upgrades from the original empty room. In part 1, we'd chosen some upgrades from Sweetwater, some necessary, some completely not, but we're in it for the hype. Part 2, biggest unboxing day ever. Got the desk built, got most of the sound treatment panels up, linked to both those in the cards, but at this point, there was still a lot left to unbox, a lot left to set up, because it was still not functional. And we'd left off with a plan in place. Let me show you how that went. All right, so I've changed the plan again, because why not? I forgot that you can put the bass traps flat, so that's what I'm gonna do. Bass trap right in the middle of the desk. Then I'm gonna move this and put it into the smaller corner, and that's going to be matched by this other control column in this other corner. And the last bass trap is going to go behind the light over here. And obviously the two bass traps above the desk. I can't put these up right now because I don't have the angled impalers that are coming with the larger London bass traps. Take a shot every time I say bass trap. But yeah, that's basically everything I can do right now in terms of the sound treatment until the other things get here. So I think that's where I'm gonna call it. And then tomorrow I'm gonna start building the amp shelves and hanging the guitars up here because neither of these two walls are gonna change, and I really have to start getting some of this shit off the ground. We're back, and obviously the room is still a giant mess. Now, a big problem is that a lot of these guitars are on the floor. Like, guys, we gotta start getting some of these guitars off the floor. So, last time we unboxed this system from String Swing, and using that system we can hang 10 guitars. Now, this is the side I'm envisioning the camera is gonna see most of the time, right? Because we got the light in this corner, it's gonna be aiming down here. So this wall, I think, is going to be an amp shelf, and then this side is going to be hanging guitars. Did I say guitars? I meant Les Pauls. But yeah, I think that'll look really, really cool. I'm gonna see how that works, and then I'm probably gonna get another one for this side because obviously there's a little more than 10 guitars down here, and it's important we find a place for Frida's little guitar. I'm super excited. In the old apartment, a lot of these guitars just spent too long in their cases, not on display, not being played. Having them out, they're gonna get a lot more playtime, and it's just gonna look cool. So let's go ahead and get that set up now. Oh, look at that. That is shaping up to be so sick. So you could do what Andrew Baena does and have the two racks inverted, like all these facing this way and all these facing the other way. But again, since the camera is going to be from this angle going forward, I think so far, all plans are tentative. Don't hold me to anything. Having all of them face this direction makes the most sense. Now, I've just put up 4 so far. I kind of want to leave it overnight and see what happens. You know, these are rated to hold a lot. Look at these screws, they're pretty massive. Because all the screws are in wall studs. There were a couple that, I'm not gonna lie, they were a little bit dodgy. The reason being that there are power lines back there. Somewhere, the stud finder was locating them. It was going off and giving me warning, so I shouldn't have even really put that rack there, but I did. So I'll put these up first, make sure that there's no movement before I put on, you know, the 70s Gibson and the PRS 10 top. Like, if the Hello Kitty falls, it'll probably still be in tune. Yeah, it's looking really good. I think I'm gonna get started on the amp shelf now. I haven't gotten new ones, they're the same ones as the old apartment, because honestly, I love them. These are giant shelves I got from a surplus Asian restaurant furniture store. Basically, restaurants have to buy a certain amount of furniture to get those price breaks. These guys pick up the surplus and sell it for a massive discount. Plus, I spoke Chinese to them and they gave me an even better best friend discount. So that, combined with these raw lumber planks from Home Depot for better weight distribution. Looks really cool, rustic, industrial, whatever. It's very simple, but it works. Okay, so I've started putting it together to kind of get a sense for the room, but here is basically how it's gonna look. This is gonna be epic. I mean, these shelves take up a lot of room, but there's still plenty of it in here, especially when I move these cases up to the attic. And I've left room underneath, I think, enough for the Mesa 2x12 cab. That's still at the old place. I need some help moving it because it's so fucking heavy and it's got no handles or anything left. It is beat to shit. I mean, it is a Craigslist cab if I've ever seen one, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I just wanted to take a quick break to kind of step back and see how it was all coming together, and yeah, so far so good, so let's continue. Bang! How good does that look? Layout is, of course, subject to change as I bring more stuff in from the old apartment, and I haven't plugged anything in yet. I'm kind of just placing things and seeing how I like them, seeing how Pringle likes them. Over here we've got the Engel Savage, the Iron Ball Special Edition, Grandmeister 40 Deluxe, Rev Generator Mark III? Yeah, 120 Mark III. Using Kettner Triumph Mark III Rev G20 dual rectifier multi-watt 6505 plus. I'm not sure what year, but it's still got the original tubes. It was made in the USA, so it's pretty old. Behind the ladder, Orange Rocker Verb 100 Mark III, and down here Jet City Soldano designed HDM 100. Then, because I have pets and it gets dusty on the floor, my plan was just to keep all the pedals and stuff off the floor. So the pedal board up here, and you can see how dusty it all is, so I'll clean that. But at hand level, it'll be easier to adjust for recording than it being on the floor. And then I've left this little shelf here as like a pedal display area. So yeah, once it's all plugged in and lit up, it's gonna look really, really cool. And the string swing survived the night, so I've added more guitars, some Harley Benton signature prototypes, my first ever guitar, obviously the ever-tuned Hello Kitty. Smith from Valiant Guitars. It's their take on the single cut. They're an awesome Ukrainian-based company, and I hope they're doing well and being safe right now. Fuck Putin, dude. But yeah, I put these on to kind of test it again before I throw on like 10 Les Pauls. But in the meantime, I am so behind schedule. I actually have to do some work, so I am staying up, and I'm gonna try to sort out the desk situation. I've been so excited to start using this desk because it's got the built-in rack unit. So I'm gonna start installing gear into those, plug everything in, and hopefully we can get the Hackintosh up and running. Sound like a good plan, Pringle? Oh, good girl. Pringle approves of this plan. Oh shoot, I just found a rack mount kit for my Sennheiser wireless in the box. This needs a good dusting, don't mind that. So I was kind of wondering what to do with these two empty units that were gonna drive me insane. I was actually thinking of rack mounting the wireless and then getting something I don't know, if there was like a rack mount Korg Miku pedal, I would totally get that. One thing I was actually strongly considering, maybe not rack mounting the wireless and then getting something like a Line 6 Helix. You know, now that tubes are an endangered species and it's going to be very painful to retube any of these. But I've been really curious. I really want to try a modeler that is apparently the best one, or maybe just a big rack mounted tuner. I don't know. Give me your suggestions. What should I do with this one empty slot that I have, or potentially two, because again, I can take the wireless out and just stick it on the desk somewhere. Anyways, just some mindless waffle as I talk my way through the thought process. Let's rack mount this thing. Oh shit, more big boxes. Dude, I'm pretty sure my FedEx guy already hates me because these required a direct signature, but the guy just dropped them off and then booked it out of there. Only been here a week, he's already sick of my shit. I'll leave him some snacks next guy, like some Doritos or something, poor guy. Right, Pringle? Good girl. Alright, so I think this is the remaining Primacoustic sound paneling that I need. 4 bass traps, 2 wall mounted, 2 ceiling mounted. First box. Let's open it up. Alright, we got some bass traps now. As you can see, I brought down one of the control columns. It's exactly the same height, and it's double the width, so this should give us a lot more of that surface coverage that Primacoustic was emphasizing. And yeah, I've been saying Primacoustic this entire time, but it's actually Primacoustic. My bad, guys. Either way, I'm gonna replace this control column with one of the bass traps. That way I can move it over to this corner and put the other spare control column in that corner, and the other bass trap will go in the corner over here. So that should look really good and get us closer to that 20% surface coverage mark. But before we do that, let's get into the other box and see everything that we're working with. Next box. I mean, we already know what's in here, right, Pringle? Yes, we already know what's in there. Let's get those ceiling panels. I was wondering where the Sweetwater candy was. That's 3 whole packs. They're trying to give me diabetes. My impending health issues aside, this is sick. So these are the ones that are gonna go on the ceiling somehow. These are their Nimbus ceiling clouds. They're 2 feet by 4 feet, so the same size as the London bass traps, but no beveled edges. And rather than impalers, we've got these things for them to hang from the ceiling. You know, putting together this room is actually the first time that I've done a large amount of drilling in the walls, right? Because I was only renting before. That's also why there have been so many fucking mistakes, god damn it. But I've actually never hung anything from the ceiling before, so this should be interesting. I'm hoping, but not expecting everything to go well. I'm gonna start installing them because I'm really behind and I actually do need to start working on some videos. I'm gonna start with the regular London bass traps because this one is pretty easy. It's just replacing that along the wall, and this one to the side. Do the 2 control columns, and then we will come to the ceiling stuff. I'm actually really excited to install the Nimbus clouds. Like, I've never done it before, and it's either gonna go really well or it won't, but it'll be a lot of fun. Let's do it. Okay, still a little messy, but looking pretty good, or at least a lot better. Right, Pringle? Yes. It also sounds a lot better. I'm actually standing in the only corner that could do with some more treatment, so it's a little bit more reverby here. But by the desk, under these big guys, and with this big bass trap, no reverb. But that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted for recording and for mixing. This to just be a very dead neutral area. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, all the measuring, all the drilling, it kind of took forever. And I got a little impatient, so it's not perfectly level in the traditional sense, but I still think it looks good. It looks close enough, you can't even tell. These ones were an absolute pain in the butt. Shiv's dad helped me with these, because the thing is, you can draw straight lines and everything with a level on a wall with the X and Y axis, but when it comes to the Z axis, it's really difficult to get your bearings, or at least we didn't find a good way, so it was a lot of measuring, remeasuring, and carefully drilling. They're not exactly level, but again, close enough. Can't even tell. Looks sick. So yeah, good progress. Just one little problem for a desk meant for audio production. Where's the sound? You know, all the sound treatment in the world, and there's no sound coming from this computer. And, well, there just so happens to be a box right here, which I believe will solve our problems in the sound department. So let's open it up and see what we got. Shit, here we go. These are the monitors I'll be using in the new place. If you remember the old studio apartment bedroom thing, I've been using KRK Rokit 5s forever. These are Atom Audio T-Series, not that T-Series, PewDiePie's okay with this one, T7V studio monitors. 7 in the name means these are 7 inches rather than 5, so they should have better bass response without being overwhelming for a room this size. And these have great reviews. They're supposed to be awesome with a really neutral response, which is what you want from your studio monitors. And I just thought, you know, new room, all the sound treatment. We're going big, we should get some new, larger monitors to match. Here's the back, Atom Audio, based in Berlin, Germany. HF, LF, audio levels, power indicator, your balanced and unbalanced inputs. I mean, it's pretty straightforward stuff. I'll have to make sure that I have the right cables, but overall it should be pretty easy to slot in with my existing interface and everything. Plus they look really cool. So let's go ahead, get them plugged in, and get them on the stands. Alright, so we've got 2 new additions to the studio. One, Koshi is here. Obviously, it's a bit more difficult for a cat to adjust to a new area, but she's doing well. Right, Koshi? And second, here is my awesome Lovesack, which is just a objectively hilarious name. I got it like 10 years ago as part of a Black Friday sale. It was like $300, which at the time I thought was ridiculous, but it was also just so fucking comfortable. But they threw in this free cover, which just got really old and nasty, and Shivani would just not let it in the house. So we got this new European hair faux fur thing. Holy shit, you guys, it's so fucking comfortable. These are like designer memory foam filled sacks. Designer lounging sacks is just a ridiculous concept, but oh my god, it's so worth it. And we've got one last box from Sweetwater to open. I am really, really excited for what's inside this one. Let's open it up right now. Awesome. So these are completely 100% unnecessary for a home YouTube studio, and that's exactly why I wanted them. Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you guys though, I had a bit of a mathematical error. As a lot of you know, I grew up in China with the metric system. Feet and inches are somewhat of a foreign concept, so for whatever reason I was thinking 20 inches to a foot, so 40-inch bars would be 2 feet. Nope. They're a little bit bigger. Whatever, that makes it even fucking cooler. So these are the same brand Chauvet DJs, the previous lighting that I unboxed. You've got programmable functions, Bluetooth control. These are meant to be linked together, so they've got power in, power out. And these are the Q3 BT. BT meaning Bluetooth, Q meaning, well, I'm not sure honestly, but the 3 means you've got 3 programmable zones. So if you want 3 different colors, it'll go 4, 4, and 4, which is fucking unreal. These are usually meant to be, you know, at the foot of stages or in the back, not in a regular room, but for the content creation studio, I mean, you just have to do it, right? When it comes to YouTube, the stupider the better. And I haven't quite figured out how I want to position these in the room. I was thinking maybe horizontally on the shelves, maybe hanging vertically from the sides, maybe mounting them on the ceiling. I don't know, I kind of chose the stuff first and then I was like, fuck it, I'll make the room work rather than the other way around. You know what we can do right now though? Plug these in. Holy shit. This is so dumb, I fucking love it. Wait a second, wait, let me get the other light and see how it all looks together. Holy shit. Wow. But fucking why though? Exactly. Holy shit. This is gonna be like the high integrity portion of the fucking studio. This is so ridiculous. How has Sweetwater allowed this to happen? I'm amazed. I could watch this for hours. It's entirely unnecessary. This is like putting a V12 in a fucking smart car. And that's really the vibe I was going for, apparently. Guys, I fucking love this so fucking much. Alright, I have to stop looking at these now and actually figure out how to put them up. And also figure out the programming, that way I can get them to all sync up or talk to each other, or I don't exactly know how this works, so I will figure that out and I'll see you guys back here when it's all done. And I think that's where we'll end this episode because it's getting dangerously long. Next episode, you can kind of see it in the background, but we'll be hanging and displaying about 50 guitars. And then all that's left is wiring the amps up for permanent direct recording and reamping on the fly, as well as putting together the dedicated area for conducting high integrity mod projects, which is something that I really want to get doing consistently, maybe one a month, and then giving them away. Lofty goals, but yeah, getting ahead of myself. Like, subscribe, notifications, all the YouTube stuff to keep up to date with the build process. As I said, it turned out awesome. I just don't want to spoil it before the finale. Massive shout out to Sweetwater for sponsoring this insanity, and of course, thanks to my amazing patrons for making this and all the other videos possible. If you want to support the channel and get bonus extras, consider joining them. Social media, Discord, and affiliate links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I will see you for the next video.